Hi everybody, so in this video I'm going to be showing you how to make these cookie dough stuffed cupcakes. I absolutely love cookie dough, so I really wanted to show you how to make these, and I've done a chocolate and vanilla version for you so that you can try both if you want to, or just one, whatever you prefer. So to make the chocolate cupcake you're going to need 110 grams of plain flour, 175 grams of caster sugar, 125 millilitres of milk, 45 grams of cocoa powder, 1 large egg, 65 grams of vegetable oil, 3/4 of a teaspoon of baking powder, 3/4 of a teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and 125 millilitres of boiling water. First of all, you need to preheat your oven to 190 degrees Celsius. Then to make the chocolate cupcakes, it's really easy. All you need to do is tip every single ingredient except for the boiling water into a large bowl and mix those all together to start with. So at this point it should be looking like this, nice and creamy and chocolatey, and then you can go ahead and add in half of your boiling water and mix that well into the cake mix. Then you can add the second half of the boiling water and mix that in as well. At this point it should be looking very liquidy, so don't worry if it's looking too runny. That's what you want, because that is why these chocolate cupcakes are so moist. To make the vanilla cupcakes you will need 125 grams of self-raising flour, 125 grams of butter, 125 grams of caster sugar, 2 large eggs, half a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and 1 teaspoon of baking powder. So first of all you need to put the butter and the sugar into a large mixing bowl and cream those together. Then crack in your eggs one at a time, making sure you mix well between each one. Then pour in the flour and mix that well before adding in your baking powder and vanilla extract. I'm using my 12-piece cupcake tin for each batch of the cupcakes, and I'm also going to be using these Cath Kidston cupcake cases to fill them up, and I'm using red for the chocolate and green for the vanilla cakes. Then pop those both into the oven for about 10 minutes. You can check that they're done by inserting a skewer and making sure that it comes out clean once you think they're about ready. Once they're done, just carefully put them on a cooling rack, and then you can start making your cookie dough while they're cooling down. To make this cookie dough, which is completely safe to eat because it is eggless, you're going to need 115 grams of butter at room temperature, 130 grams of plain flour, 160 grams of light brown sugar, 60 millilitres of milk, half a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and however many chocolate chips you want. I went for about 150 grams of dark and white chocolate. So the first step is to cream the butter and brown sugar together, and you need to make sure that you mix that really well to get out all the lumps. Then add in the flour, mixing that until it's all really well combined. Once you've got a nice firm dough consistency, you can add in the vanilla extract and the milk and mix that together. And finally add in your chocolate chips and mix that well to make sure they're all distributed evenly. Now it's time to stuff your cupcakes, so you're going to need to take quite a small knife and use that to cut a hole in your cupcake and leaving about 1 centimetre at the edge. Then you can spoon out the inside of the cupcake and leave the lid to the side because you'll need that later. Then take about a tablespoon of the dough mixture and use your fingers to roll that around in your hand to make a ball shape. Then with the inside part of the cupcake that you cut out earlier, just remove the excess of it so it's just the top bit and use that as a lid. And then do that exact same process to every single one of the cupcakes. Now for the final stage, which is the decoration, and you're going to need some vanilla and chocolate icing, or whatever flavours you want really, some large cookies, some miniature cookies, and also some chocolate chips and a piping bag and a nozzle of your choice. Then take 1 or 2 of the larger cookies, however much you want really, and just put that into a blender of some sort so that you can mix it all together and make a breadcrumb-like consistency out of them. Then take your 2 different kinds of icing, or 1 kind, whatever you have, into a bowl, or 2 bowls like I have, and you can add half of the cookie breadcrumbs into the vanilla and half into the chocolate, and mix that together so that you've got kind of like a cookie crumble type of icing. So once they look something like this, you can start spooning the mixture into your piping bag. I've got 2 separate piping bags for each of the icing, but you can use the same one, just washing it out each time. So first of all, I'm just spooning in the chocolate mixture, and then I'm using the top of the piping bag to twist and push down so that it comes out at the end like so, and then you're ready to pipe your cupcakes. So I used a circular nozzle, and I'm just going around in a circular motion, bringing it up to a point at the top. Then I did exactly the same thing with the vanilla icing, and one tip I have is to use a really wide nozzle for these cupcakes, just because in the icing there's a lot of chunks, like a lot of chocolate chips, that might get stuck in a thinner nozzle like a star tip nozzle or a flower nozzle, so I would use a wide one if you can to avoid that. I'm then taking some miniature cookies, and these are the Maryland miniature ones, and I'm just putting one of those in each of the cupcakes for decoration. I'm also going to crush a few up and sprinkle the breadcrumbs on top. I also had a few chocolate chips spare, so I just used the rest of those to decorate each of my cupcakes. So these are what they look like finished. I know that recipe seems really complicated, but if you just cut it down into 3 separate parts, it is actually quite easy. As always, I'll leave the ingredients and the recipe in the description box, and this is what they look like on the inside. Amazing, right? If you're obsessed with cookie dough like I am, you are going to absolutely love these. They're also a really good gift to give to someone or to have at a special occasion. I actually made these for my friend's leaving party, and everybody loved them. I really hope you liked this video. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!